J-O-E in the place to be. HB on the track, it's like ecstasy. Rowing a well of 7 years, what we drink and be. Trying to sling the dopest rhymes in the galaxy. Let me take a minute though and relax your mind. Sometimes these words can be hard to find. 24/7 on that daily grind. Hearing voices in my head, man, they not that kind. Cause bitches be bitching, snitches keep snitching. The world keeps turning, and I keep hitching a ride instead of living my life. Yo.
Man, when you feel hungry, don't you have to eat?
Yo, pump up the volume and digest this beat.
RapScallions in the house with this lyrical treat.
When we're done with you, you're gonna ice your feet.
If the world ends tomorrow and you had one chance,
Hey yo, would you start the move like it's your last dance?
yo, do something small in the past and present changes.
Do something now, the future rearranges.
Cause bitches keep bitching.
Yo, snitches keep snitching.
The world keeps turning.
And you start living your life instead of hitching a ride. RapScallions. J-O-E in the place to be. HB on the track, it's like ecstasy. Rowing a well of 7 years, what we drink. Yes, sir, rock and roll.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're all tropical today. I got my Coco. Joe Mosquito over here has got his nice tropical hat and his tropical shirt. This is RapScallions episode 35, Island Hopping. Like Joe said in the post earlier this week, you may have been island hopping, but you have never been island hopping with the RapScallions. Let's start this show, Joe, with the weekly RapScallions weekly wrap-up.
Yes, sir. I think people don't understand, HB, how many islands there are around Panama. We're going to get to know that later on because there's mad islands. Mad islands that we're going to try and discuss to our heart's content and just let people know what there is to do in this beautiful country, island-wise.
Beautiful country.
No doubt.
So many islands.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But no, man, my week's been all right, man. This week I felt it's been a heavy week, man. And I must say I haven't been as good as I've been in previous weeks, my friend.
What's up, man?
I only managed.
Did you get your exercise in?
No, dude. I only managed to get my exercise in one day. Mm-hmm. It's just been heavy, draining, hard. So I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this episode so we could talk about the islands and go island hopping and have some tropical drinks, man. Yesterday was Kelly's birthday, so we had a good time yesterday. Happy birthday to Kelly. We had a good time yesterday, man. We went to visit an Embera community called Embera Queda over in Colon. So it was just her. It was just us two and the Embera community. So we went over there and we managed to, see how they live their lives and talk to the people and stuff. And so it was cool. I got to be on a boat. First time I left the city in over a year, man.
Wow. And you got to go on a boat. That's cool.
And I got to go on a boat and be in the water and be all tropical and stuff. So I was very happy about that.
So you're like in a mental mind frame for the island hopping.
Yes.
Well, you got your Embera tats, man. That's cool.
I got my tats. So
I've got that tree in my garden.
Which tree?
Where you get the ink from.
Ah, really? Man, so next time I go visit you, we can tat each other up.
We're going to have like Mike Tyson stuff on the face.
Seriously.
RapScallion teardrops. And when people look closer, the teardrop's going to be you with the thumbs up.
That's right. People won't even know what hit them. They'll be like, is that because you killed someone? They'll be like, no, it's because I made somebody smile.
Yeah. I like
they
it.
cried tears of joy. Tears of joy, man. What about you, man? How was your week, brother?
Well, it was all right. Nothing really big to report. However, my chickens be misbehaving. The Margaret Hatcher band has been going all over the town. They're on tour. Sassy ladies.
They're on tour.
They went on tour, but then they went over and started digging up the neighbors' like little ornamental plants and stuff. So we've had them on lockdown, and I'm building a new chicken run. So you misbehave, you go to jail, I guess. I don't know. I got to figure out what to do about that. So that's all I've got to report. But as far as the weather out here, that's saying cool and breeze. Last night, Joe, it was cold. It was so breezy. And then, you've got your fan on. It's hot during the day. You got your fan on. You're going to bed, and got all the windows open. It's hot. And then you wake up like at 4 a.m. and you're freezing your little tuchus off. It's cold,
Yeah. So what did you do?
I turned the fan off and rolled over and went back to bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice, though, to have that nice change in climate so you can just sort of like cool off. especially in these hot summer days that we're having, dog.
True.
Dope, but I think about the Margaret Thatcher band, man. I think it's just the early stages of fame, you know. So they think they're unstoppable. They think they can do whatever they want. They've been on the air with us, so they're like, man, we got it made. We can go wherever we want.
It's a situation, you know. The more famous you get as a band, you know, especially when you're talking, singing chicken, you're gonna have haters. You're just gonna have haters.
Yeah, and your neighbor's one of them.
Yeah. He said he was gonna make a little trail of corn into the kitchen and eat them.
He said that for real?
Yeah. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna eat your dog.
You should. You'd be like, I'm gonna make a trail of your bones into my kitchen and eat your dog. Oh snap.
Yeah. But that's village life. You gotta roll with the punches and do your part as a good neighbor. So I've been building up a little 10 by 10 feet by 10 feet chicken run.
Right.
And I've been working on that on my free time. So
dude, it looks pretty good. I saw your frame. I saw the frame that you had put together yesterday, man. And that looked legit, man. If I was a chicken, I would be happy to live there. For sure. Yeah,
it's pretty big.
Spacious, you know, it's made of metal, so you know it'll stand up to the wind and all the other terrible stuff that might come your way. So yeah, dog, they're gonna live their best lives. I know this.
They're gonna love it. You know, they've been a little stressed out. So you know, it's kind of amazing is, you know, we locked them up and they couldn't get to the place where they like to lay eggs, which, as fate, the wonderful woman that fate is right outside of our kitchen. They lay the eggs right next to the kitchen, so we just go outside and pick up the eggs. And I wanted to make, like, if they're able to free range, I want to make a thing where their coop or their egg laying box is right up against the screen, and I just pick up a little door and just pick the eggs out, fresh eggs out, because it's right over the stove. It's like right the stove is here, and they on the other side of the wall they lay the eggs here.
Well, that's like perfect, man.
Yeah, I need to make like a thing where it goes down a chute and then it falls like on a knife, and the two shells go off here, and then the egg goes right into the frying pan.
You know what? That reminds me of something that would have happened in like Goonies. You remember Goonies?
Yeah. It's called a Rube Goldberg machine. You ever seen those, like, you make the super complicated steps to get something done?
Yeah, something really simple.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg machine.
I didn't know that. I always thought that little kid Data from Goonies made those things up, just, you know, off the top.
Yeah, that guy was smart. I like him. I'm gonna take my inspiration from him.
Seriously, man, he was like 8 years old.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know if we mentioned it before, but you gotta if you eat a fresh egg, they can't be too fresh.
No, why?
You gotta let them sit for 5 or 6 days to kind of like set. Otherwise, the whites are a little chalky. Oh, but what I was gonna say, Joe, was that they were kind of stressed out because they couldn't go to their spot. You know, they want to go laying eggs in their spot. Yeah. So they were holding on to it. They're like, well, eventually she's going to open the door and let me out.
Right.
They held on to that egg, and the other egg started forming right next to it.
Oh, that sounds painful.
So the one egg has like a white circle around it, and the other egg was flat on one side as it was formed next to the. So they were poor girls had 2 eggs in there.
That sounds really painful, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's
amazing.
Wow. And both eggs came out okay.
It came out okay. I ate them. Delicious. And you know what else happened?
What else?
Good news. Really good news. We had a double yolk egg.
What? That's like a blessing.
It is. That's like super good luck. So, hey, good things are coming, my friend.
No doubt, man. No doubt. All these heavy weeks are going to go. They're going to disappear.
Yeah.
Disappear.
Gonna disappear. Not these heavy weeks. All right. Hey, enough of all this good news. Let's get on to the island hopping, because
island hopping, boy.
There's so many islands in Panama.
There are so many islands.
In just Sandblast, there's an island for every day of the year.
I know.
So obviously, disclaimer: we're not going to be naming all the islands.
No.
We're just gonna go over some and try to have fun and cool and breeze, you know, have fun and talk the talk, boy.
Talk the talk, boy. And if anybody has any island information, if there's any island experts out there listening in, please feel free to chime in, man, because HB and I, we just live the good life of island hoppers, you know? We enjoy the lives and then we hop away.
That's right. We're like little island bunnies.
That's right, man. That's right. We're just keeping it real. So let us know. Let us know. HB, I think we're going to start the journey.
You're the captain. I'm Gilligan.
Oh, snap. I'm the captain.
Yeah. You're the skipper. We're going to take a 2-hour tour.
A 2-hour tour, man. I hope we don't crash and find ourselves locked away on some sort of virtual island for the next 50 years, like Lost or something.
If we did, my friend, we'd be eating lobster and drinking coconut rum. We'd make rum somehow.
That's true. That's true. And then we started like an amazing restaurant, and then people would want to come to our island to eat our coconut lobsters and rum.
Exactly.
Our rum-infused lobsters.
The lobsters will drink with us the night before. Then
that's right.
Take some chickens with us.
We take the Margaret Hatcher band in their chicken run.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Okay, HB, I think it's time for us to set sail, dog. What do you think?
I'm ready, skipper. Aye, aye, Cappy.
All right, Cappy. That's what they call me, man. Cappy Joe. That's what they call me.
Cappy Joe.
Cappy Joe. All right, HB, we're going to set sail. We're in Chiriquí right now, man. You know, we're in Chiriquí, and we're going to set sail for the Gulf of Chiriquí. So let's go on this wonderful journey, man, on our boat. Can you feel it? Can you feel the breeze?
I'm loving it.
Can you feel it, man? It's just like, it's so amazing.
It's nice and
so
breezy.
Amazing. Nice and breezy.
What kind of boat do we have?
We have a catamaran, man. We have a catamaran. We have we have a net, so you can lay down in the net and just enjoy your drinks in the net. You know, it's all good. It's all good.
Do we have a butler to bring us? We have a butler to bring us drinks? A little monkey butler or something?
Yeah, man. We have a mono Titi. He's our butler. And his name is also Titi. So he brings us our drinks, man. He's an expert at making cocktail rum and cokes. Cocktail coconut rum and cokes.
That kid's going places.
Yeah, dude, seriously. It's like he got trained by a master mixologist.
We took him to Robbie Martin's restaurant.
That's right.
Robbie put him through his paces.
Yeah, man. We took him to Intimo, and he was like, man, this is the best monkey cocktail maker I've seen in my life.
He's got the thing, the little mixer.
He even puts it on his tail, man. He shakes it with his tail, you know? Never seen a monkey do that before.
Yeah, it's amazing. You guys got to see it.
All right, HB. So we're starting off in the Gulf of Chiriquí, man. Our first stop is Isla Boca Brava.
Isla Boca Brava. So let me pull up the map.
Sir, we're on the Pacific.
We've got some mappage.
Coast. We've got some mappage. Let me tell you guys something, man. We were doing our research. It's really find a map with every single island in Panama, because I think HB mentioned earlier, there's like a ton of islands. San Blas has 365, and I think HB overall in Panama there's over 1,400 islands.
Amazing.
That is a ton of islands.
Yeah,
we could all have an island. We could all have a lot.
We could all live happily. Where are we at? We're at Boca Brava, Isla Golfo de Chiriquí. Okay, we're over by Costa Rica then.
That's right, man. We're off the Pacific coast in the Gulf of Chiriquí in the Bahía de los Muertos, which, by the way, HB is a coral reef.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's 1.5 miles from the main island village of Boca Chica. Boca Brava connects to another island that we're going to visit, which is called Isla Palenque, by a very narrow land bridge.
So you could like walk out there or what?
Yeah, man. You could walk from Boca Brava to Isla Palenque by a bridge. So I'm guessing they must not be that far apart. The map is very small, so we can't really see. But you can.
Okay, so those people tuning in, check out my coconut. All right, just go. If you look straight down here, on the bottom. The bottom is the Pacific coast, and the left side is the border with Costa Rica. So that's where we're starting. And can I throw a little factoid in there? In this area, in the Gulf of Chiriquí, is Isla Ladrones, which is the southernmost point in Panama, which is kind of weird because it's all like, you know how Panama's kind of twisted. So you would think that the southernmost island would be over in the Gulf of Panama.
You would. That's crazy. Do you think they have like little? You've been to Isla Ladrones. What's it like, man? Tell us. Tell the people. What did you find there?
We went there fishing, and I mean, it's beautiful. When you're out that far, you're in like you see primary jungle.
Right.
So a
Please
lot of these
explain to the people,
islands.
what is primary jungle? Tell the world.
Well, a lot of the rainforest that you may have visited is secondary rainforest. That means that it's been cut down or harvested and has grown back. Parque Metropolitana, for example, used to be pastures and used to be cows and stuff. But
Right.
that's grown back, and that's most people's understanding of a rainforest. So primary jungle would be untouched, completely untouched.
All right.
Yeah.
And do you think, and so Isla Ladrones, untouched?
Untouched. I was wrong. It's not the southernmost point in Panama. That goes to another island. I got mixed up. But while I was out there,
yeah,
while I was out there, I swam with a pod of dolphins. That was amazing. We were heading out to that island, and there was a huge pod, probably 100 or so dolphins or porpoise, and the small ones, they'd jump up and they do little flips. So my friends who are master fishermen, they take me along because I study marine biology and I get a trip out of stuff like this. I looked at him, I was like, throw me a camera. And he threw me a mask, and I dove into the water and I swam with the dolphins with the mask on. And they were flying in formation. It was like they were swimming in threes. 3 would go down and come up and look at me and take off. And another 3 came out, and there was like zoom, 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 zoom. Just these guys, like porpoise, are very intelligent. They were having fun. They saw me in the water. They came to check me out. They're like, "What's up? All right, man, I'm out of here." Boom, they're gone. It was an amazing an experience.
Did any of them touch you, or like
no,
with their like bottle nose or snoot or something?
No. I mean, as soon as if wild animals like that, as soon as you reach out, they're gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that must.
I swam with sea lions in the Galapagos, and I got one of them to go nose to nose with me, but it took a long time.
Really? Because aren't sea lions? They're like dangerous, man. They can like bite your face off.
The males are dangerous if you're like territorial. So if you're messing with their ladies, then they'll mess you up big time. So in the mammal world, don't mess with people's ladies. Truth. Looks like we've got a little internet outage. Joe is froze. I don't know if you guys are even hearing me, but Cableona strikes again.
They don't like talking about islands, man. They don't like talking about the islands.
Yeah.
When I went off, I heard a small voice in my head saying, like, "Stop talking about the islands."
Uh-oh.
I was like, "Stop, Cableona."
But we're not listening to them. We're gonna keep going. So that area out there, Golfo de Chiriquí, beautiful area. Let's keep going down the list.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the deepest area near shore is Puercos, and they were going to start drilling for oil there.
Right?
Thank goodness that they didn't do that.
Man, that's crazy. I think it's one of those things where we just don't know with regards to the future anymore what is going to happen to all of these beautiful areas in our country, because I think for the most part, you can always assume that people in power want to make money.
Yeah.
And I guess they don't see there being any money in being able to maintain these areas that are so important to our planet.
Definitely. They can't make money off. They can't sell you oxygen, so
exactly. So they're just like, whatever, let's drill for oil and destroy everything. But we digress. HB, let's get back to our Gulf of Chiriquí. There's a couple of islands in the Gulf of Chiriquí. I'm just going to list them off, and then we're going to talk about a couple of them. And that's, of course, Boca Brava that we already talked about. There's Boca Chica, Isla Parida, Isla Palenque, Isla Sevilla, and Islas Secas. Islas Secas. So I think the only information I could find about Boca Chica, HB, was that it is the island where you can build the life that you've always wanted, because it is an incredible private island.
Wow.
So, I mean, it has all the things you'd like to see. on a beautiful island, palm trees and eco-friendly luxury living, so all that stuff. But you know what? They're not paying us to talk about them, so let's stop talking about Boca
What about
Chica.
Palenque? You were dropping some knowledge on me and about Isla Palenque. That was very interesting.
Yeah, well, we talked about it being connected to Boca Brava by
Mm-hmm.
by a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's covered in mature tropical forest, and it has mangroves, which are very important, lagoons, and a forest, man. And I didn't know that Palenque originally referred to a refuge for escaped slaves. So let me tell you about this, man. It says that during Central America's colonial period, indigenous Indians were indentured to work in the Spanish mines. Those who escaped sought sanctuary in places they fortified with palisades or palenque. Isla Palenque has been called by that name for as long as maps can determine, and so may have been used to harbor escapees during the colonial period, or possibly as a refuge even earlier.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
there's
crazy.
a lot of information there. Palenque, we touched on it very briefly in the carnival episode where we were talking about the Congo dances in Colón during carnival and after carnival.
Yeah.
So the escaped Cimarrons would create town sites called palenques, and so this is the same, has the same moniker but on the Pacific coast. So yet another place where free slaves would take refuge and create their safe zone.
Yeah. And according to this a researcher by the name of Olga Linares, they
Mhm.
believe that there may have the start of human settlement there. It was potentially a home for pre-Columbian farming communities for some time during the years of 500 to 1400 AD.
Wow,
And it could have been occupied as long ago as 5000 BC.
that's incredible.
That is insane, man. Insane. And other than that, man, it's just, you know, it's like it has a varied ecosystems. There's 8 families of howler monkeys that have been identified there. You can also find the northern Tamandua anteater, the
Ooh,
9-banded armadillo, white-nosed coati, crab-eating raccoon, a guti, a
woolly possum.
woolly possum, and the Mexican hairy dwarf porcupine.
That's all on Palenque.
That's some palenque, man.
That's incredible.
Yep, that is insane. And they've also got a bunch of reptiles, apparently, including the black xenosaur, which sounds like
Xenosaur. It sounds like
xenosaur.
Jurassic Park, man. I love it.
Xenosaur, yeah. And it's like a giant iguana. It's also called the black spiny-tailed iguana, black iguana, or black xenosaur, and is a lizard native to Mexico and Central America. You can find the green iguana, the spectacled caiman, and other types of frogs, salamanders, lizards, and snakes. Man, that island seems like it would be your worst nightmare if you were scared of reptiles, dude.
I would go, man. I would check that out. That sounds amazing.
It sounds incredible, though. It does sound incredible. And of course, you know, if you're a bird watcher, my friend, you know, you can go over there. You can watch all these birds that stop there during their migration, like toucans and parrots and woodpeckers and frigate birds, hawks and owls. They've all been seen on the island. And you know what else? A bunch of varieties of hummingbirds, dude.
Ooh, beautiful colibri. Hey, you know, Joe, can I go off on a little tangent? Because all this biodiversity is bringing a lot of stuff to mind.
Tangent away, my friend.
Okay, so, you know, we've talked about the formation of Panama many episodes ago, but I just wanted to talk about that again because Panama is a land bridge between North and South America. And like 6 million years ago, they were separate and there was a big ocean going through there. And then the tectonic plates, the Caribbean plate and the Pacific plate, rubbed against each other and started creating volcanic reactions. And then mud and silt and changes in ocean levels created what we know now as Panama. And so all these islands are volcanic in nature. And so when that happened, you had the commingling of animals from North America and South America. And that's why Panama, per square meter, is the most biodiverse place in the universe. Or let's keep it to the world because we don't know. Maybe there's another planet out there that's got like more reptiles than Palenque does.
That's insane, though, man. Because I mean, the fact that you find like these sort of creatures with these, like, you know, the Mexican something or other, you're like,
Mhm.
whoa. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That is crazy, man.
interesting.
Super interesting, man. That's crazy. And I think, HB, that the final island on our list of islands from the Gulf of Chiriquí is Islas Secas. Islas Secas. And it is, so right now, something I just found out, which I didn't know about. It says Islas Secas is currently owned by American investor and conservationist philanthropist Louis Bacon, who supports efforts to protect natural resources in the United States and beyond.
I like his last name.
Bacon. Tasty, man. Hey, there's nothing like some good bacon. But
6 degrees Kevin Bacon.
That's right. I think that's his cousin.
True.
It's very possible. It's
Nothing
very
but
possible.
facts. Nothing but facts.
That's right. Oh, man. And did you know something else that's crazy? So Islas Secas, I guess it bounces around to different American entrepreneurs because it was previously owned by American entrepreneur Michael Klein, who is the half-brother of Calvin Klein.
Ooh.
Yeah. Facts. All facts. He constructed the original eco resort on the islands. There's currently an eco resort there, but he died on a flight from the islands to view Volcan Baru.
Oh, crap. Calvin Klein's brother died?
Half-brother.
Half-brother.
Yeah, half-brother. I don't know, man. That's crazy. But anyways, man, the waters off of Islas Secas are visited twice a year by different populations of migrating humpback whales.
Belleza.
I
It's
think
when we were talking to our buddy Mike Bolton, he said that they start tagging sharks in the Galapagos Islands, and all those tags get lost because of the overfishing of sharks here in Panama. So we gotta build awareness on that.
Most definitely, man. I think you and I should go on a boat and just every time we see somebody catching sharks, be like, "Hey, RapScallions gonna mess you up."
That's right.
And they'll be like, "Okay, I'm sorry." Dump them back in the water.
Yeah.
Dump them back in the water. But yeah, HB, so now we're leaving the Gulf of Chiriquí, my friends. So I want you to feel the tides of change wafting over your beautiful hair, going through your beard, man. Say goodbye to the Gulf of Chiriquí. Because right now we're going to scoot right past a couple of islands before we get to our next destination, which is a place that you know a lot about, HB. So we're going to pass by. We're passing by Cayo de Agua. So let's wave over to that island, Cayo de Agua. We don't know much about you, but we see you. Now we're going past Isla Montuosa. Montuosa, what's up? Now we're going past Isla Jicaron.
Let's take a little stop right here. We're getting closer to island everyone knows, but when you're out near Isla Montuosa, there's it's called Hannibal Bank. The reason why that's very well known is because there's a huge drop off there. You're going from 72 feet to 2,000 feet.
Super deep.
Super deep. So that's where you go fishing, man. You drop your line there, you get marlin running by, lots of tuna and stuff like that. So
Isla Montuosa.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Let's see if I don't know if you guys can see it. If you're looking on the map, we're still in the Gulf of Chiriquí. You see Azuero's right in the middle. These islands also belong to Gulf of Chiriquí. So if you're looking all the way at the bottom, you'll see where it turns from light blue to dark blue. That's Hannibal Bank right there. And that's like a cliff. It's literally a cliff where it just drops off and you have cold water coming up and the fish run that bank.
That's pretty insane, man. Have you ever gone diving over there or swimming over there?
I've gone fishing there. I don't know if I've gone diving there.
No? Seems like a pretty crazy place, man. 2,000 feet deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
That is really freaking deep. I would be scared to get into that water because I'd be like, I can't see what's down there. I can't see.
No.
I can't see.
Yeah, that's like you got to watch that James Cameron movie Abyss. That's what, and then like Pacific Rim, those monsters are going to come out from there.
Yes, that's right, man. Hey, there's maybe some mega mouth sharks down there.
Could be a mega mouth. Yeah,
could be.
We don't know. They say that we know more about outer space than we know about our own oceans. Isn't that crazy?
That's ridiculous. When you remember that TV show Sequest DSV? Did you ever see it?
Yeah, I love that show.
Super popular, right? I always thought that show was gonna make people want to know more about the oceans, but I guess it didn't.
I guess didn't. Hey, Captain Andy's tuned in. He says he heard that Isla Secas has a resort on it, $2,000 a night. Hey yo,
That's chump change for the Rapscallions. We're gonna stay there.
Chump change. Okay, so all you listeners, you can donate a couple thou to our Ko-fi account so that we can go and do a show from Isla Secas. How about that?
I mean, we'll let you know what it's like, so you can decide if you want to go.
You can live vicariously through us. What if they don't have the lobster and fish that you want for dinner? We'll do the hard work for you and figure that stuff out.
We'll tell you.
Yeah.
We'll tell you, man. We're like that. We're about the people. We give for the people.
We care about constantly giving.
Constantly, man.
So drop some more knowledge on these people, Joe.
HB, we've passed the deepest point of water over in the Gulf of Chiriquí, Isla Montuoso. We passed by there unscathed. Luckily, no monsters came out from under the water. No megamouth sharks attacked us, which was our biggest concern. And
no Sharknadoes.
No Sharknadoes, thankfully. And now, thankfully, HB, we have a ride. Is that the Sharknado?
You hear all that wind? It's windy as heck over here, man. Is it like that in the city?
It's windy, but not as windy, thankfully. No Sharknadoes over here.
Thank goodness.
But now we have arrived at an island full of mystery, full of history.
Yes, we did a whole episode on this.
Isla Coiba. Tell us about Isla Coiba, my friend.
Well, as fame would have it, it used to be a penitentiary in Panama. We did a whole episode on it, and that episode actually piqued the interest of our buddy Mike Bolton, and he contacted us, and we did a whole show about sharks because of our episode on Isla Cueva. So you can scroll down, keep scrolling until you find that episode. It used to be a penitentiary. A lot of people, during the dictators or in those areas, los desaparecidos. You did something that pissed off the people in charge, you're out to Coiba. And I remember when I was growing up, that was a big blast. We'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to send you to Coiba. That means you're going to the ends of the earth. You're gone, man.
Like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think BHB Coiba, it has such a dark history, right? Because like you mentioned, from 1919, it had a penal colony on there, and just people went over there, and it was brutal. If you think prisons in Panama City are bad, La Jolla, La Jollita, those places are terrible. This place, even worse, But now, it's a national park. From 1992, they made it a national park. It's beautiful, and it has a bunch of species living there that have disappeared from the mainland. Can you believe that?
It's like an irony in life. Not ironing, where you're ironing your clothes, but an irony. Where because of the penal colony and because of its infamy, where people were scared to go there, it remained virtually untouched.
Yeah.
And we have some good news. Captain Andy says check is in the mail. So we're going to Secas. All right. So Coiba was untouched. And I think across the bay on the mainland is a prime surfing spot in Panama.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, and even there, my friend, in Coiba, you can watch, there's coral reefs that are very well protected. So you can see humpback whales, pilot whales, killer whales, dolphins, sea turtles, manta rays, marlins, and a bunch of other sea creatures, man.
That was one of the great, one of the things that made people scared is like, oh, you can't escape that island, like Alcatraz. If you swim off of Alcatraz, or if you swim off of Isla Coiba, the sharks are going to eat you. But most likely a current's going to get you. You'll drown, and then the sharks will take a bite out of you.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I don't know if anybody escaped from Coiba. I don't think there were any registered escapes.
I don't think so.
But Coiba is one of the destinations that HB and I are looking forward to visiting once the pandemic is over and doing some amazing stuff. So keep an eye out for that and keep donating to our Ko-Fi fund so we can make all this possible. HB, I think we're about to set sail from Coiba. If you're okay with that, we're going to head along to the next island on our destination. Let's wave goodbye to all the ghosts.
Bye, ghosts of prisoners. Sorry.
Bye-bye to all the ghosts. We're sorry that you were there. We're sorry that it happened. But now, my friend, we're arriving at Isla Sebaco.
Very important island. Sebaco. So when you're in the Gulf of Montijo, all those properties, and I've hiked a lot of the properties around there.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting fact. We're now in Veraguas, and Veraguas is the only province in Panama that kisses both oceans.
Ooh.
Every other, a lot of people don't know that. So it crosses the isthmus. Veraguas goes from Mosquito Coast all the way down, and part of it is on, you're looking across the bay from Coiba, and then there's the Golfo de Montijo. So in all this little Gulf of Montijo, when you're in the mountains there, you see the three islands. The three main islands is Sebaco, Tigre, and what am I? I'm missing one. Where's my map at? Here we go.
What is it? What is it?
We're moving right along. Is and another prime spot, Isla Verde, Isla Leones, and Isla Sebaco. And then off to the left a little bit, you've got Isla Gobernadora. And this is an important place to mention because on the mainland, I mentioned a very important surf spot. You've got Santa Catalina there.
No doubt.
And these are Santa Catalina. You have Mariato in Azuero, and you've got Puerto Mutis, which is a very important ramp where you go. So if you want to go fishing out there, that's where you stay in Santiago for the night. You go down to Puerto Mutis, and that's where you launch to do your deep sea fishing.
Yeah, well, the Gulf of Montijo, from what I've heard, is very well known for sport fishing and scuba diving and whale watching and all those amazing things, right?
Yeah, Sebaco is good for. I don't know if they're. I don't think Sebaco is not in the national park of Coiba. But you can fish there, but you cannot fish in Coiba National Park and some of the surrounding islands. It is protected parkland, and I'm very ashamed to say that when I was out there fishing, we saw the Fuerza Maritima is supposed to keep people from fishing there, and as soon as they drove by, the longliners came in, so they knew the schedule.
Oh man,
devastating. So we have illegal fishing all over Panama. We want to raise awareness. It should not be done. We need to protect our biodiversity.
That's right, man. That's right. It's what keeps us safe. It keeps us who we are. It's part of our identity, man.
We got a big shout out, Joe. Ralphie Furlong says, "Sup, my mom and Alice say hi. What's up, moms? What's up, Alice? I'm glad you guys are tuned in. We're doing a 2-hour tour. The skipper and me, Gilligan. We're just having fun and talking about the islands."
That's right, man. AHB, let me tell you something about Sebaco, man. Yes. They use solar panels as the only energy source on the island. That's pretty cool, man. And that gives electricity to the whole community. It's about 30 homes. And it also powers a local public phone and the public phone antenna.
Ah, very nice.
That's right, man. So now you know when you go to Sebaco, it's all clean.
That's how you can watch Rapping with RapScallions. You go plug into that public phone and get your Wi-Fi there.
That's right.
You can watch our amazing episodes.
That's right.
Also, shout out to Mars Rover, Perseverance.
Right.
They're all tuned into Rapping with RapScallions. Big fans.
No doubt. Big fans. They love us, man. We're huge on Mars. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. HB, we're gonna set sail from Sebaco now.
Yes, sir.
That's okay, man. We're gonna continue on our catamaran. Are you enjoying those drinks that the Butler TT has prepared for you?
Butler TT is making delicious drinks. So are we headed around? We're headed around Suero, right?
That's right. We're headed around the peninsula of Azuero.
Okay, so on the lower left corner of Azuero, there's Cerro Hoya, which is a national park. There's some interesting formations there that aren't technically islands, but I think they're very interesting to mention. It's called Ventanas.
Right?
And geologically, Azuero is geologically the oldest place in Panama. People who study rocks and stuff. So they call it Ventanas because at a certain level in the tide, the outcroppings from the mainland and in the ocean, the tide will go down and these old lava plumes will appear that you can drive your boat through.
What?
It's amazing. And I think
That's
we missed.
crazy.
Yeah. It's Azuero is just an amazing place. While we're mentioning surf spots, Cambutal has gotten very popular. There's Dinosaurio, Cuatro Once. I can't remember. There's one that's a left and a right that you catch the wave and you can choose. I want to go right. I want to go left. I did a lot of camping on the beaches out there. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Very cool place to go visit. I haven't been there in many, many years. Maybe the RapScallions could head out there and do some tourism.
That's right, man. We'll do tourism for you so that you know where to go and where not to go.
Beautiful area.
Where not to go, man. That sounds amazing.
Check it out. Check it out with us first.
That sounds amazing. All right, HP. So we're passing the Peninsula de Azuero, man. We're going past Islas Frailes. We're going past Isla Gobernadora. We mentioned her before. What's up, Governor?
What's up?
We're going past Isla Leones. And now we're going to an island, my friend, that you know a lot about.
Yes.
And I'm talking about Isla Taborcillo, my friend.
Oh, wait. I want to reverse.
Reversing the boat.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me, man.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. It's this monkey butler's got me with these drinks and,
Reversing the boat. Hold on. I'm stirring. I'm turning. We're going around. All right.
We got to hit up right off Pedací is Isla Iguana.
Isla Iguana. Oh, okay. We're going to get to that later on. We can get to that now.
Oh, wait. You were going to do it later? Okay. I thought we were going around.
We're going back. Going back. According to my notes, Isla Iguana is one of the Gulf of Panama islands, but I could be mistaken.
It is. I mean, Gulf of Panama is huge.
Yeah.
And then as you get closer, you have the Bay of Panama.
Yeah.
So you have when the Azuero Peninsula comes down, on this side is the Golfo de Chiriquí, and on the other side is the Golfo de Panama. It's huge.
All right. Well, that next island is next on the list after we visit Taborcillo.
Okay. Go for it.
So we're turning around. We're back at Taborcillo. Just got there. And this island is one that is known by a lot of people as John Wayne Island. It is a small private island. It's 40 kilometers off of the coast of Panama. And it was once owned by John Wayne, HB.
It was. And legend has it that he was gifted that island by Omar Torrijos for his help in convincing Hollywood people to support the Treaty of Panama. Now, the timelines don't line up. They say he bought it in the late 60s. And as we know, people came into power after that. And John Wayne came to Panama a lot. He came down here to fish. He was married to the daughter of the consul of Panama. Wow. And also there's a famous legend that John Wayne at the Balboa Yacht Club, not the one that we know now, but the original one, that him and Jimmy Stewart got in a fist fight in the parking lot of the Balboa Yacht Club.
What?
Yeah, they would go out there, they go fishing, and then he came back, they got a little rummed up, and apparently, and Jimmy Stewart's like, now, Duke, I'm not going to put up with this shit. I'm going to knock you clean out. And apparently they got in a fist fight.
What? Fisticuffs. Fisticuffs at the Balboa Yacht Club. You heard it here first. RapScallions delivering exclusive news.
Exclusive news. So on John Wayne Island, Joe, have you got 75 cents in your pocket?
I do.
Maybe I don't know if inflation, it used to be 25. Now it might be up to 75. But You take that jingle jangle change out of your pocket
Right?
while you're on John Wayne Island.
Uh-huh.
You can pay to pee on the same tree that John Wayne peed on.
What? That's insane,
What
man.
better way? I mean, raspados are $1.50 now. What are you gonna do with that 75 cents?
I know. Pee on a tree.
Empanadas are $1.
Yeah.
You got no other choice.
No, I'm gonna go pee on that tree, man. I'm gonna go pee on that tree.
We've got Captain Andy is chiming in. He's like, "You passed Iguana, East Iguana. Do it now. It was a naval target. People tied up to a live shell for years."
We're going there next, Captain Andy.
Thanks for chiming in. We love the audience participation.
Yes, we do. We just had to talk about the peat tree. The peat tree was one of the main stops on this tour.
It was the main stop. People need to know, like, if you want to relieve yourself, don't be boring. Don't pull over on the side of the highway and people beep at you and you're just like, ew, this guy is whipping it out. No. Go to the tree that John Wade peed on. Put a little money into tourism and pee on the Duke's tree.
Pee on the Duke's tree. By the way, HB, I also heard that the hotel is up for sale now. So if anybody wants to give us $15 million, we can purchase the hotel that's on the island and open up the RapScallions bed and breakfast where HB and I will receive you and cook you ham and eggs.
Ham and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
Ham and eggs. And if we raise enough money, we'll also pee on that tree.
We'll pee on that tree live. Yes.
Back to the camera to cover your sensibilities.
Yes. But you will know what it's like to pee on the tree that John Wayne peed upon.
Pee vicariously through the RapScallions.
Okay, HB, we're getting back on the catamaran, man. I'm raising the sails of the catamaran. I am hitting the NOS button like they did in Fast and Furious. So hold on to the Butler TT, dog, because we're going non-stop now to East Iguana.
East Iguana, I do believe that it is a preserve, but Captain Andy has sent yet another check in the mail for the purchase of John Wayne Island. Thank you, Captain. So gracious.
We'll call it Captain Andy Island.
We'll have another tree. We'll bring you out there. You pee on that tree, and then we'll make it $1. So that's in 15 million years, you can get your money back.
Get your money back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Andy.
Hi, Richard Groom is tuned in. Good to see you, Jimmy. I said, Catalina, fresh pollo. The waitress chases it, and it shows up on the plate 20 minutes later. Hey, fresh is fresh, man.
Hey, man, those waitresses, if they catch that pollo, that means they could be crazy boxers. Because I was watching Rocky, and that's how they trained him. He had to catch that chicken. So you got to be crazy quick, man. Crazy quick.
Yeah. I'm glad everyone's chiming in. This is a lot of fun. So we're back at East Iguana. I went fishing there with the famous Sam Castleton. We went handline fishing during Carnival. We picked when Carnival was dying down. We went out there. We saw some sea turtles laying eggs. We went fishing, and it's the only time in my 45 years of life that I've ever gotten seasick. It was so rough.
Really?
Yeah, it was devastating. We're in a panga, so the guy we're fishing, and he's going up the swells backwards just so that we weren't going face first. It was just wicked. I've never gotten that seasick in my life. I've never gotten seasick in my entire life, period.
Wow.
So East Iguana, there's, what I didn't know is what Captain Andy said, that it was a naval target. So I guess people were, they did that a lot in the Galapagos too, where they would drive by and pick a part of the landscape that stands out and shell it for target practice. So apparently that also happened here in East Iguana. So I'm sure there's some more facts, but the Monkey Butler has got me pretty sauced up, to tell you the truth.
Dude, up in the 60s, man, let me tell you what happened in the 60s. Some dude showed up, right?
Yeah.
A settler. And he claimed it as his own. So this would be like if you just rolled up to John Wayne Island, you were like, my name's HB, I'm claiming this place as my own. And so he planted it with plants like mango and guava trees and corn and sugar cane. Could have had a rum distillery there. And from the 60s to now, those plants are still there.
Beautiful.
Crazy, man. And later on, the government came on. They were like, "Yo, buddy, this isn't your island. You gotta go."
Yeah. He's like,
So
what do you
they-
mean? I claimed it. And they're like, you're going to claim a machete in the head is what you're going to claim.
Exactly.
Let us interest you in another island just down the street. Cueva.
That's right. And you're gonna stay there forever. So then that's where they took him. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't take him there. They didn't take him there. But yeah, they removed him, and then it actually became a wildlife refuge on the 15th of June, 1981.
Beautiful. All kinds of beautiful animals there.
Dude, they have crabs, including hermit crabs, black and green iguanas. I've never seen a black iguana. I think that'd be pretty cool. But the one, you know, the centaurs, the ones we talked about earlier, xenosaurs. There you go. Those looked scary as scary in the mud. Scary as mud. I don't want to see those. They got boa constrictors. I hate snakes, so I'm not sure if I would see those. And red-throated frigates. And you know what you can also find there? Sea turtles.
Oh, lots of sea turtles. Yeah. And we did a quick drive by of the Asuero Peninsula. I think we need to dedicate a show to that in the future. There's so much history out in Asuero. You mentioned sugarcane and making rum. There's actually right on the just south of there is Los Distiladeros, which is the distillers. That's just south of Pedasi on the corner.
Right.
There's Mariato. There's the park.
Man, I've been to Mariato, man, and the beaches there were like rock hard, dude.
Yeah, black sand. Tough.
Yeah, dude. Rough. But anyways, man, so we've covered Iguana. It's a beautiful place. People must visit it.
And then we talked about Taborcillo.
That's
John Wayne Island. But on the other, that's when you're driving out to Punta Chame. John Wayne Island is just, if you're on the tip of Punta Chame, it's just off to your left. But as you're driving down Punta Chame, to your right is going to be two islands, Otoque and there's Bonai and Otoque.
Mm-hmm.
You late at night you can see the lights. Those are fishing villages out there. We've driven by. I've never actually been on the island, so
it'd be nice to visit them, man. I wonder because I guess the people there normally dedicate to fishing. That's what they do.
Yeah. Interesting. Fishermen and fisher people.
All right, HB, we're gonna get back on our catamaran, man, and we're gonna ease on off of East Lake Iguana, and right now we're entering the Panama Bay, which is in the Gulf of Panama. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The Gulf of Panama. And you know where we're gonna stop first, HB? We're gonna stop at a location where a lot of people like to go and visit on the weekends, especially now that we're open, man. It's a bunch of islands that were connected together. And of course, I'm talking about the Causeway Islands.
Yes, sir. Very important islands. As we know it now, the Causeway, the reason for that was they took the excavations out of the canal and they connected the mainland to these islands to keep silt and discharge from Rio Grande, which is, I don't think there's much of it left anymore, but from going into the shipping lane. So in the past, before the Causeway, in the railroad days and the colonial days, those islands in Amador were steamboat islands. You would actually land there and then go into Panama City from there.
Really? That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. And of course, we know that the islands that are there are Naus, Culebra, Perico, and Flamenco.
So a lot of history there. Flamenco, according to my father, and his dad was a naval commander of Cocosolo.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that there was a tunnel, an underground tunnel from Flamenco to Taboga that you could drive a Jeep through.
Really?
Yes. And he said that after World War II, they bombed it and caved it in.
No way.
That's what he said. And maybe fiction, but he, as a child, he saw the submarine bases in Cocosolo. which we'll talk about a little later because there's some interesting islands around there.
Because
But
a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people have said, they've told me in the past that many of those islands are hollow on the inside.
Flamenco has a lot of there's bunkers built into that island,
Right?
and I have walked through them. We were filming a movie, and I got to explore those. It was very interesting. And let's see, I think Smithsonian has on Punta Culebra. I think they
Now,
have a. It's on Naus. Okay.
yeah.
They have a station there, and I remember they had a tank with this lobster that was this big, and he looked at me and he saw little sticks of butter and garlic in my eyes when I looked back at him.
What? How big was the lobster?
Well, hold on. Let me change the scene because it was this big.
That's a massive lobster, dude.
It wasn't like a little. It was just huge. It was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
It was a great place to learn. You can still go out there. I think it's scheduled only, where you can go out to the Smithsonian and check out. They have a nice like a little shallow pool where they put starfish and stuff like that, so you can go and learn about the different animals and stuff.
It's pretty cool. I think they even have a tank where they have sea turtles or a shark. They had like a deep pool last time I went, like a deep pool. I don't know, man, but it's a wonderful place to visit.
You were kind enough to post my Amador tour, and if you guys watched it, you know that I got kicked out of there. So,
or they didn't. No, they let you in, but they didn't let your cameraman in because everything in there is top secret.
Super top secret. And I think Noriega had his private house out there.
Dude, you know what I did once when I was a youngin'? I went over there with a friend, and they were like, "Yo, let's go scope out Noriega's house," and I was like, "No, man. We're gonna get in trouble," but they were like, nah, we're not gonna get in trouble. So we went and we walked around. I forget which island it was on. I think it's on the same island that Smithsonian is on.
It's on the other side of that.
Yeah, on the other side. And that house was huge, man. So not only did we walk around the house, which was all looted and destroyed or whatever, but he also had like some dungeons in there, man. Like some underground dungeons.
That's freaky deaky.
That is freaky deaky, man. I haven't been back since, man. But I wish mobile phones with cameras would have existed during that time so I could have documented it and taken pictures. Because of course, back in the day, you only had the Sony Ericsson. It wasn't even Sony Ericsson. It was just Ericsson or Nokia, and those didn't have cameras.
No.
You couldn't even text.
Not at all. Couldn't text. You had to do the T9. You had to press the button 3 times and stuff.
So I mean, but I went there, and he had a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
He had a dungeon.
Well, this is also a place to catch a boat ride to a very important island in the history of Panama.
Right. Oh, that's right. Let's go there, HB. Let's go there. Let's go now. Let's get out of here.
Toot toot.
Let's go.
We're headed to Boga Island, ladies and gentlemen. To Boga Island. I mean, so much can be said about this island. Island of flowers because of its tropical vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
The seaward side of the island is a reserve for birds, for marine birds, and this island was actually where Pizarro and I can't remember the other gentleman's name. They weren't actually very nice gentlemen, but this is where they would come out and start their conquest of Peru. So
from Toboga,
because as we mentioned in our show, Panama. One of the meanings for the name of Panama is mudflat fish. What is it?
Mudflap fish, mudfish.
Mudfish. So the city of Panama, not where we know it now, but old Panama was mudflats. So they would come out. Also the islands of Amador, but principally they would come out to Toboga, and that's where they would plan their excursions into Peru. There's a church there in Toboga, which is not the oldest, but one of the oldest. We're going to get to the oldest one later.
Right.
And you can visit that church. some famous visitors that have been to Isla Taboga. Ulysses Grant,
Mhm.
when he crossed the canal, he was actually sent by Lincoln or John Hay. You know about that
Hey,
guy.
no doubt, man. Greatest Secretary of State ever.
Yeah, they were taking some troops across the isthmus to San Francisco, but they were secretly checking out to see uh, if it was possible to make a canal to Panama. Later, well, they lost almost everyone in the troop to cholera. We also did a show about cholera.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then when Grant got to the Pacific side to Panama City, he went and took a relax over in Toboga.
Hey, it's a good place to relax, man. You know who else was relaxing in Toboga? Paul Gauguin.
Gauguin, very
Gauguin was in
famous painter.
Toboga, man. No doubt, no doubt. He visited in 1887. He actually worked on the French attempt to build the Panama Canal. He got sick, was sent to Toboga Island for treatment, and then went back to France.
Yeah. The Toboga has always been like a sanatorium. And if you've seen Scarface, it's like I said, sanatorium, not sanitation. A place to, like, if you get ill, you go out there and relax. It's so beautiful. The nice salt breeze and beaches will bring you back to health.
That's
My
right.
dad, another legend from Toboga from my
No
dad
doubt.
was that the pineapples that they grow in Hawaii originally came from the island of Toboga.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Lots of legend.
Man, well, there's another legend apparently that Toboga is covered in tarantulas.
Tarantulas. In our Shorty and Slim episode, Dave Sykes told us about an excursion they took out, and they're like, "Well, what are we going to do?" And they said, "You can always go up to Cerro La Cruz, which has a cross on it. I've done that hike. I've been attacked by locusts out there.
Oh man,
But,
that's like biblical, man.
Biblical, but Dave Sykes took his honor science class out there, and they were told that if you climb up the mountain at a certain time of day, creepy crawlies will come out.
That's
And
crazy.
they didn't know if it was true, so they went up there and just like a lot of tarantulas came out. Richard Groom's tuning in again. He's chiming in again. Great info. I'm glued to this. Love the history. Thank you for tuning in. We've got lots of episodes. We try to have fun and share our love of history about Panama.
For sure, man. I also want to give you a recent historical event that occurred in Toboga. That's why I proposed to Kelly in Toboga.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's like the most important historical event.
That's right, man. That's why it's my sanatorium. Sanatoriums.
Another, well, it almost as important as your proposal. Well, tell us a little bit about how was it? Did you visit the beaches? What made you choose Toboga?
I guess I just wanted to go. I wanted to get out of the city because we had a couple of stressful weeks in the city, just trying to get the apartment that we had moved into set up. So then I thought, it'd be nice to go somewhere where we could just kind of disconnect from everyone. Because, back in pre-pandemic times, it was, the moments where you could get away from people were few and rare.
Right.
Not like now when we're always away from each other. So it was like, we got to get away from just life. So we went over there, and it was funny because we were in the ferry going over, and I had the engagement ring in my duffel bag. And then I was holding on to my duffel bag for dear life because I was like, I can't let this thing get lost. And I wasn't gonna trust, just leave it here in the seat, and then I'm just gonna go into. So she was like, "Come on, let's take a picture. I was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere. Just hugging my duffel bag for dear life."
And to the ladies watching out there, something always goes wrong with the proposal. You have everything planned, and the special lady in question doesn't understand why you're being so grumpy. You're not, because you got to stick to the plan. Everything's planned out.
Everything is planned out, man. But no, we got the Toboga. We stayed at a beautiful hotel. Everything went really well afterwards, thankfully. And then we saw Hillary Hughes the following day. Hillary Hughes, who of course was in one of our episodes, so we chatted to her for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then we came back to Panama City.
Did any sites stand out while you were there, or is there any important tourist destinations that
I think
you-
the church, the San Pedro Church, that's always a wonderful place to visit, without a doubt. And I think we didn't get to visit the cemetery, the Cementerio de Taboga, but that's a place that I definitely want to visit at some point in the future. And then also do the hike that you mentioned. That seems like top notch. But I think, since I was so focused on the objective, I was just like, I can't do anything else, dog. Can't do anything else. But yeah, Taboga, beautiful island, man.
one more thing, I actually got to play I was in a historical recreation it showed on Panama TV, where John J. Blackjack Pershing came to Panama to try and negotiate with the Panama government about setting up a military base on Taboga. Because if you look geographically, and which is going to be always ingrained in my mind because it was part of my lines that I had to memorize. On Cerro La Cruz, which has a cross on the top of it, from that mountaintop, you can see straight into the mouth of the opening of the canal.
Oh,
and
damn.
yeah,
That's great.
so they were going to set up radar stations, gunnery stations, or that's probably not the right word, but they were going to set up something that would help them protect the mouth of the canal. Now, this was just after World War I, and because of that war, they decided that they had to increase the armament on and around the canal. And so in the days leading up to World War II, and mostly after the United States went into World War II, Taboga ended up having military installations on Taboga. And Panama, because of World War II and because of the canal, has more airstrips than any other country per hectare. There's airstrips all over Panama. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. And I guess some of them we don't even use that much, at least for commercial.
They've all gone into disrepair, but there's tons of airports out there, and small planes can still probably land on them, but they do need, like some of the other islands that we're going to visit later on are going to
have some airstrips.
Yeah,
man, airstrips galore.
Airstrips galore. Someone's asking me for a link. Do we have anything else to say about
Taboga? Other than it's a beautiful island, y'all should visit it. HB and I hope to visit it in the future. HB and I are like a married couple, man. We try to visit locations.
We do. We have a plan. We have everything planned. Send your checks in the mail.
Seriously,
we'll go visit.
Seriously, Captain Andy. I mean, we've been locked, in our homes forever. There's one more island we got to visit that's in the Taboga district, my friend, and it is called Otoque Island. Otoque Island. It has an area of 2.66 square kilometers, and the population was 130 people in the year 2000. And it currently, what's up?
Right next to Taboya, Tabogia, which had a steamship company on it, and also, I'm getting Melones. Melones is what we used to call Flat Top Island.
Right.
Is now currently a container island for ships to come and unload diesel and petrol and whatnot.
And there's also, I'm just reading here, there's also an Uraba Island. Uraba.
I think that's more towards Chepillo, I think.
Man, there's too many islands, dude. I mean, there's
so many islands. Geographically, you can get a little discombobulated.
Seriously, man. I don't know what's left, what's right, what's north, or what's south anymore. I'm just lost.
Richard Groom says Taboga has the best ahi mahi.
Ahi mahi.
So maybe it's hot peppers with mahi mahi.
Mahi mahi. That sounds delicious, man. That sounds delicious. All right, HB, we're gonna get back onto the boat. We're gonna go now because you know where we're visiting. Excuse me.
Salud.
Oh my God, It was the
breathe
Aki-
in. You need to breathe in the fresh island air, the sea air to clear your sinuses.
It cures all. It cures all, man. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go past Taboguilla, HB. Got any stories on Taboguilla?
At Taboguilla, I think there's a steamship company that had their dock there, and if you go there now at low tide, there's a sand beach that connects at low tide between Taboga and Taboguilla, and you can see the remnants of the dock and gears and stuff like that on the shores of Taboguilla. Very interesting.
Man, that's always
And that bay there is a hot spot for people to rent boats or take their boats and throw anchor and party your balls off.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a 2-person rapscallion party in
Yeah.
Taboguilla. And we're gonna wear a mask though. We're gonna wear a mask, but they're gonna have like a little hole so we can have a straw so we can sip our rum and cokes prepared for by our
Indeed.
butler TT.
Yeah, those who are tuning in just now, we're on a catamaran.
Mm-hmm.
We have a monkey butler that's serving us drinks.
Mm-hmm.
We're painting pictures for you guys.
We're painting pictures and we're sailing.
Yeah, Joe's got his nice hat on. Every once in a while, when the sun gets bright, I put my sunglasses on. I got my coconut with tropical deliciousness in it.
That's right. And HB, he doesn't wear a hat because he needs that sea breeze going through his luscious hair. It's a beautiful experience.
That salt air is good for the hair.
Salt air is good for the hair, man. You heard it here first. HB, we've gotten to a location that is renowned in Panama. It contains some of the most beautiful islands in all of Panama, my friend. And of course, you know that I am talking about the Pearl Islands, or El Archipélago de las Perlas, my friend. There's so many islands here.
Man, my head's gonna explode. I don't even know where to start and where to end.
Just go where it feels natural, my friend, and I will chip in wherever I feel more information is needed, dog.
All right. Well, there's you'll first reach islands. Let's see. If you're coming from Panama City, and I let me interject with a story. As some of you may know, Survivor was filmed out there. And for the American version of Survivor, I worked in the city, but then the French version of Survivor came out.
Oh, what's that called? Survivor.
Colanta.
Coolander. Coolantro.
Culantro. So they're like, go buy these materials and they come out. We need you on the island. So we get on the boat and they were hiring new capitanes to come out with their boats to give support. And I get on the boat and we start taking off. And the captain of the boat, Capitan Pinto, he had a funny eye. So he just ticks off. And, I know my way out there. I know you kind of like, you come out past the end of Amador Causeway, and then you don't really hang a left, but you kind of head a certain direction. So we start veering, and I turn around to the captain, and the storm's coming, and it's getting dark. And I was like, I think we're off course.
Right.
And he turns to me, he's like, they hired me from the Atlantic. I thought you were going to tell me where to go. And I was like, why didn't you say that 45 minutes ago? So I was like, look, I think we need to go this way. We radioed to the island, and we finally made it. And the first islands that you'll most likely run into are Pacheca. But I want to skip past that one and go to Bartolome.
All right.
That's the private island of Samuel Luis Galindo, and he built this amazing, it's a private island, and he built this amazing house on that island.
Uh-huh.
But I can tell you that you shouldn't be afraid of sharks in Coiba. You should be afraid of sharks if you go swimming around Bartolome.
Why is that, man? Tell us, please.
There's a lot of sharks there, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is that why he built his private house there? To keep people away?
I don't think they went there to swim, but I just wanted to mention that because there's a lot of sharks there. So we're going to go past that. We're going to head south a little bit, and two very historical islands here is Saboga and Contadora.
Right.
So you have it's called the Archipelago de las Perlas, the Pearl Islands, because of the great bounty of pearls there. And Vasco Núñez de Balboa, who was the first European to set eyes on the Southern Sea or the Pacific Ocean, he crossed the isthmus with the help of Pancuyaco, and they say that Pancuyaco still to this day walks the path for having given up the southern seas to the Europeans. But that's a ghost story for another day.
And this was HB, just so that people have an idea of when this happened, man. This was in 1513. 1513. This is a long time.
1513.
And Pancuyaco's been walking since that time.
Since that time, his spirit is forced to walk back and forth because of him giving up the South American and all his relatives and whatnot to the Europeans. But anyway,
tragic.
So Vasco Núñez de Balboa and the Spaniards' intense greed of riches and gold, they go out there and they find a place that is named because there's so many pearls out there.
Right.
So there's a few things that define.
They must have gone crazy with all the pearls, man.
We did a show on this, didn't we? About Balboa and crossing Panama.
Yep.
I think one of my favorite quotes was from one of the chiefs. He said that the Spaniards told them that if they didn't eat gold, they would die. And anytime that you brought them gold, they would jump around like monkeys. So I always got a kick out of that. But
crazy,
so Vasco Núñez de Balboa, he found a mother lode. So there's a few defining things about the Pearless Islands. Principally, the pearls. Secondly, you have a group of islands. Now, Pacific Islands are known for darker water and dark sandy beaches and rocky beaches, but the Pearless Islands have all the beauty and splendor of a Caribbean island. They have the bright blue waters. They have the large, long, white sand beaches. So you have all the spectacle of a Caribbean island, but in the Pacific. So, and there's so much history here. Okay, so Contadora Island, if you translate Contadora, that's where they would count money and count pearls. That's why it was named Contadora. And we mentioned an old church earlier in Taboga, but the actual oldest official church is on Saboga Island, Iglesia de Saboga. Yeah. So that's the oldest official church, or the still standing church in the Western Hemisphere. Or no, I think there's an older one somewhere else in the Americas. So that's the oldest church in Panama. And there's so many beaches on Saboga. There's some resorts being built there. But Contadora and the Pearl Islands really got their claim to fame when Omar Torrijos built the Contadora Resort on the islands in the 70s.
Massive hotel back in the day, man.
Yeah, and it had its own casino. It had bungalows and everything. A beautiful restaurant area and bar room, and you have you have huge beaches all around the island. My favorite was always the Suecas beach, because that's the nude beach.
Did people actually go there and were they all nude and stuff?
I went there once and I met some tourists there that were actually topless, but they were never nude. But that's Playa Suecas. You have Playa Larga, which is where the hotel is at.
Right.
I mean, just huge, beautiful beach. Galeon is there. And looks there. I mean, there's so much history on Contadora. The Shah of Iran, actually stayed there in the 70s, I believe.
Yeah, he did, HB. And then also another thing that happened in Contadora, and this was later on in the 80s, was the formation of sorts of the Contadora group, which was an initiative launched in the early 1980s by the foreign ministers of Colombia, Mexico, Panama, and Venezuela to deal with the Central American crisis, which was mostly military conflicts in El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Guatemala. So they were scared that this was going to destabilize the entire Central American region. So they first met in Contadora Island in 1983, and of course it got international attention, and everybody just kind of wanted to be like, you guys got to deal with this, man. And there was a lot of pressure there for a softening of the military stance by the United States in the region, because the U.S. had a major influence throughout this entire area. And the peace plan that they drew up was supported by the United Nations Security Council and the General Assembly and a lot of regional and international bodies. And basically, thanks to that, they started to generate kind of like this movement for wanting to get peace in the region and all that stuff. The following year, in 1984, they had representatives for Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Uruguay. They met in Lima and created the Contadora Support Group.
Interesting. I did not know that.
How crazy, right? And, the Contadora Act was tentatively approved by the Central American presidents, but didn't gain the crucial backing from the United States through its de facto recognition of the government of Nicaragua.
Huh. There's a lot of to read between the lines of the Shah of Iran and Nicaragua. But anyway, that's another story. We do have a shout out. Captain Andy's like, is it true the Japanese introduced an invasive shrimp that cleaned the pearl clams of sand? Man, that's news to me. I think that's very interesting. But it does bring, like maybe the little shrimps go in there and
clean clams.
Are they delicious shrimp? That's my first question. Like, if they're so invasive, maybe we can just eat them all.
Yeah, man. Seriously, why not? That's the best way to eat the clear shrimp.
That does bring to mind another legend, and that is the Japanese submarine that was supposed to have come into the Bay of Panama. As far as I know, that's not true. But what is true is that they brought one of the Civil War submarines. It was either the Ironsides or the Merrimack. Those were the only two, but I think it was the Ironsides. They brought that submarine down to Panama into the Pearl Islands to help them harvest pearls. And that wreckage is still out in the Pearlist, but I'm not too sure on which island that ended up on. But you can.
That's crazy. Are there still like loads of pearls over there, or can you just not go get them anymore?
I had a friend of mine bring me some pearls from Isla del Rey. They were small, but I think like the way I'm picturing it from what I've read is just like pearls everywhere, just like
pearls galore,
oysters everywhere. If the viewer does not know what a pearl is like you have an oyster. And, the oyster is a filter fish. It cleans water, it takes out particulates and whatnot. And every once in a while, a piece of sand will get into its gills or its belly or whatnot. And it irritates. If you eat an oyster, it's very slimy and there's a lot of flesh there. So what it ends up doing is coating it in this covering so that it doesn't irritate its flesh, and it creates a pearl, which are prized by people. That's where pearls come from. A little nature sideline fact there.
How very interesting, my friend. How very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, did you know that currently the population of Contadora is 115 people, and most of the citizens are native Panamanians and a couple of multi-millionaires with summer homes?
I lived in Contadora for about 8 months while they were filming the different versions of Survivor.
That must have been amazing, man.
There was a lot of cool stories to tell about that, but I think we need to keep island hopping because
we do, man. We're running out of time, dude.
We need to go over to Chapera Island. Chapera is a little further south from Contadora,
right?
And historically speaking, there's a point of prominence there. Chapera Island has the oldest functioning well in the Americas. In all the Americas, that well, yeah. So, I mean, it sounds kind of hokey, but that's 500 years that well has been serving pirates and Spaniards and buccaneers and whatnot, fresh water.
And people still use it?
It's still using it. We were filming on that island, and they wanted to fill it with salt water to bring the water level up. And I was like, you can't do this. This is the oldest functional well in the Americas. You can't spoil it. But they spoke to the Ministry of Tourism. They were like, yeah, go ahead. We don't care. And so they started dumping seawater in it. And they didn't understand that water finds its own level. You can't fill a well and expect it to rise. So
Wow.
Chapera Island is beautiful, and then there's a canal that runs between it. And on the other side of that canal is Mogo Mogo Island, it's got a huge beach on it. And that is where they filmed a lot of the Survivor episodes. Now, I spent a lot of time on Isla Chapera. What time is it? I don't want to go too far on a tangent, but
It's 4:30, man. We got 30 minutes.
okay. So the owner of the Contadora Resort at the time was a Colombian fellow, and he built a house on Isla Chapera.
Mm-hmm.
And right when he was about to finish building it, an even more prominent Colombian who had a bad reputation showed up and said, "Thanks for building my house," and took it away from him.
Just like that.
She's like, "Thank you," and he put his hand out, and the guy dropped the keys. That's the legend. So,
Right.
fast forward probably 5 years, he got thrown in jail for running drugs, and I lived on Chapera with him and some of the production crew, and he was such a confident fellow that he let us run the base of the Servicio Marítimo from his house and his dock. So the Servicio Marítimo was there while he was running drugs through the islands. I stayed there. We got tons of stories about that.
Right.
We'll save it for another day.
Dude, I have an idea, my friend. And I don't know how this, because I don't think we're going to be able to cover all the islands in the Caribbean in 30 minutes. So I think we can just let's stay on the Pacific for now.
All right.
And just talk about Pacific stuff. And then next week, we can talk about the islands in the Panama Canal and the Caribbean.
I think that's wise. And Captain Andy helped us out. He said San Elmo, north side of island, has the sub.
Yes, I was actually going to mention that because there's a submarine wreck on is it Telmo or San Elmo? San Telmo?
What does the research department say? Captain Andy says San Elmo.
San Elmo. I'm just going to say San Elmo then. So apparently that submarine wreck, many people thought that it was a Japanese submarine wreck because the Japanese were all trying to destroy the Panama Canal during World War II. But then it was discovered that it was actually, and Captain Andy can correct me if I'm wrong, it was a submarine explorer, which was a submersible built between 1863 and 1866 by this guy called Julius H. Kroll and Ariel Patterson in Brooklyn, New York, for the Pacific Pearl Company. So this submarine came down to Panama with the objective of harvesting oysters and pearls in the Pearl Islands.
See, I was always taught that it was one of the submarines from Civil War. But anyway, let's do more research on that. What else can we say about the Perlis? Let's see.
Let me tell you
Boyarena.
I visited. I've only visited Contadora once,
Mm-hmm.
and it was during my high school graduation trip. It was lame, man, because we had wanted to go to Cancun. You know how everybody wants to do their high school graduation trip? They want to go to Cancun or something. Did you guys do that in the Canal Zone? Did you guys have high school graduation trips?
No.
Okay. Well, I was in Chiriquí. All right. So we had high hopes. Okay. We wanted to go to Cancun, but then we didn't have enough money to go to Cancun. And then this dude shows up to our school, and he worked for the Contadora Hotel. And he was like, "Listen, guys, you guys need to come to Contadora. It's going to be the best trip ever. You're going to be drinking, dancing, and having fun." And by the end of his presentation, we were all like, "Yeah, we're going to Contadora."
Nice.
So we ended up getting in a bus in Chiriquí, driving to Puerto, getting on the boat, going to Contadora, and it was all right. The rooms were pretty cool. It was tight. We drove around the island. I was 18 years old. We were driving around the island in little golf carts and stuff. We were having a great time. We went snorkeling.
Beautiful.
It was a wonderful experience. It was the only time I've been to Contadora, but ever since then, that hotel is now closed.
Yeah. It was sold to a bunch of a Russian interest.
Yeah.
The only other interesting facts I have is Boyarena is like a sand island. It's all sand. They were going to film. I don't know if you guys have watched Pirates of the Caribbean, where he has that dream sequence where he's just going down endless beaches and whatnot.
Yeah.
They were going to film that here in Panama, but they were going to have to move sand, and they weren't going to permit them to do that, so they moved the filming somewhere else.
Really? Why didn't they allow them?
I don't know. They let them throw salt water in the oldest well of the Americas, but they won't let them. I don't know. Maybe they didn't pay the chow mein.
That's very possible, man. Money makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round.
If we keep going south, we have. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
We can go down to Casaya. A lot of the natives live there. A lot of the fishermen that I work with worked on Casaya. We can go down to Viveros Island. There's a big resort there with a golf course. Very beautiful. Great place if you want to catch a boat to go fishing. That's the place to do it. And then you have Isla del Rey, which is just a huge island.
That's a very well-known island, isn't it?
Very well known. Parts of the island were used for supposedly used for chemical warfare by the U.S. military. I don't know if that's true or not, but then you have Pedro Gonzalez Island.
Dude, I have another island which I gotta mention, which I recently learned some amazing new things about. So Bear Grylls, right?
Yeah.
So
I drink with him all the time.
Hey, Bear Grylls, if you're ever gonna survive, be left alone on a raft or in the jungle or something, I think you're gonna have to have Bear Grylls with you. So he had a show which was called The Island with Bear Grylls. Did you know about this?
I did not. Tell me more.
I didn't know about this either, man. Apparently, it was filmed in 2014. So this show was filmed in Isla Gibraleón.
Gibraleón, I've never been there.
Isla Gibraleón, which apparently is another uninhabited island in the Pearl Islands. Man, our monkey butler is making these drinks like ridiculous. I can't even say my P's, man.
Yeah.
So it's in the Pearl Islands, Isla Gibraleón. So Bear Grylls went down there, right? And he filmed the show where he had 13 British men living on this island with only the clothes they arrived in and some basic tools in the first season. In the second season, it was British women. This was 2013, man. 2013. Okay. And these guys were there and they were supposed to survive on this island and just do all the things that Bear Grylls normally does. And I guess he find a winner. I guess it was something kind of like, what's that show called where they put people on a Survivor?
Hey, we got some feedback here. Richard Groom says, yo, you're souring this excursion. You got to cheers with drink. So let's send out some cheers out to the people out there.
No doubt.
You got your drink ready?
I got my drink. Yo.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers to all the RapScallions watching, man. Thank you for joining us on this island excursion.
So back to Bear.
So Bear Grylls had this show on there, man, and he basically had these people living on this island. And this show was pretty popular because they had like 2 or 3 seasons, and this was happening in the Pearl Islands, in an uninhabited island in Panama. So, I mean, it makes me wonder, how many uninhabited islands do we have? We have over 1,400 islands, HB.
I imagine there's a lot going on out there that we don't know about. Again, for another show, the drug dealers that I lived with for 3 months gave me some info. They're like, yeah, we know when they're going to drop napalm on our marijuana field. So we came up with a hybrid where the buds come out, we harvest them, we leave the plants there. The Panama government napalms them, burns them down, and then we keep selling. I've got tons of story from Burles, man.
Dude, you lived with drug dealers, man. You should write a book or start a series called My Life with Drug Dealers.
Yeah, I got pretty freaked out. They when they put that guy in jail, my friends asked me, what was it like to hang out with that guy? And I was like, when you looked into his eyes, you could tell that he's probably chopped someone's head off with a machete.
And he didn't care.
That guy was crazy. So I always shook him. Every time I talked to him, I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook him.
Why?
So
Why?
I don't know. He loved it. He loved it. He's like, I like this
He's
crazy
like,
gringo.
shake me, HB, shake me. And
I don't know, I would shake. When we first got to the island, I wasn't quite sure that, I heard rumors and stuff. So he had little cameras everywhere. I was like, God, I wonder how he's getting internet to put these cameras through. So I go up there and I'm looking in the cameras, and so he shows up on the island and he's like, the people that do the security for the cameras that you were looking into, they want to know who that handsome gringo is.
Oh, man, look at you. You were like, of course it was me. Did you do like a head shake to get your hair all wavy?
Well, he started trying to imply that I was gay. He's like, los hombres te gustaba. And I was like, and I took him, I shook him. I was like, no, solo mujeres, ha 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 ha. And he loved it. He started laughing. And so he comes up to me one time and he goes, I want to go gambling in Contadora. And we went on a jet ski from. This was just insane.
Man, you were like living with DJ Khaled or Kanye West or something, man. That's crazy. Did you go on a jet ski together, or did you each have your own jet skis?
No, there was 4 of us, and there were the big Sea-Doos, the long ones. That was just insane. It was a very, very crazy moment in my life.
How was the gambling experience in Contadora?
Well, we went there, and we were from the waist down. We were wet. And every time that we played the slot machines, we got shocked a little bit.
Man, this must have been when Contadora was like in its heyday.
No, that was during Survivor. They were completely rented out.
They were completely rented out, and the casino was operating and everything. So it wasn't, because I would consider now Contadora to be kind of like a sleepy sort of touristy town where you have your high seasons and your low seasons and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, it is pretty sleepy. It's like if you don't take it with you, you're not going to find it out there. I lived out there for quite a while, and I tell you, things get pretty dull when you're not living with a drug dealer. So going down to Chapera definitely liven things up. There's a few bars on Contadora you can go play pool at. There's hostels now.
Right.
There's a lot of bed and breakfasts, a lot of great meals, lots of great seafood out there.
I think particularly like maybe a lot of chefs have decided to take their knowledge and move it to those islands, and they're just catering to a more specific type of people. Because I guess imagine, HB, if you're like a super great chef and you've been working in a restaurant in New York for, I don't know, 30 years, and everyone knows you're like, oh my God, HB is the best chef ever. And you're like, man, I'm tired of this scene, man. I'm going to go move to Contadora.
You're absolutely right. Like all the best chefs, not the best chefs, but there's I think there's one on Taboga too, where you can go out. Well, before pandemic days, you could go out to Taboga. You pay something like $300. You get the nighttime cruise or the evening cruise. You go out there, you have several star meal. I don't know what they were quoting. I think a 3-star meal,
right?
4-star meal. And you'd eat at the top of Taboga, not the top, but an elevated area of Taboga, look out over the bay and have this super fancy. I heard about it through Jerry D. He went out there for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. True that. Yeah, man. So, it just makes sense because there's only so much you can do where you're already at. And there's always new people coming up in these locations, right? In New York, you have plenty of people that want to be the next great chef because all these chefs make a lot of money, right? Not like, I guess here in Panama, if you're a chef, how much does a chef make in Panama?
I don't know. We got to do a show on Chefs of Panama. We talked to Robbie a little bit.
Yeah, man. But it's like
there is a super exclusive resort in the Perlas. The name escapes me at the moment, but it's very expensive and very exclusive. You go out there, you have super fine dining, and you go deep sea fishing. It's very, very high end.
Oh yeah?
I've never done it. I'm just a simple rapscallion. Andy, this is where you write in checks in the mail, by the way.
Is this the one that we were talking about last time? Didn't you go? Which is the one that you went to visit a hotel?
That was Viveros.
Viveros. That's a very popular one as well.
Yeah, that's a whole resort. They've got a land development out there. That was back when I was doing real estate. We went out there and they gave us the grand tour, and
Right.
then they had a fishing tournament the next day. It was a lot of fun.
And there's a lot of people out there.
I mean, when I went out there, I didn't have the heart to tell them. I was like, "You guys, you're building, you're spending a lot of money. I don't know if you're going to get as much people out here as you need to pay for all this, because if Contadora gets kind of boring after a while, Viveros is in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You're gonna golf by yourself for 3 months of the year, or what?
I mean, unless you travel with a crew of like huge people.
Yes, man.
I don't know, man. But listen, I was reading along here, and there's an island called Mogul Mogul. Maybe this is how these islands make their money. Because there's an island called Mogul Mogul,
Yeah.
and there was a Dutch television show that took place there, and it was called Adam Looking for Eve.
Sounds saucy.
Adam Looking for Eve, man. And they filmed it in Mogul Mogul. I'm trying to find out what the show was about. Let's see. So the show's novelty, check this out.
All right.
The show's novelty is that all participants are naked, with an additional twist in that a second candidate, also naked, is introduced halfway through the program to compete for the main character's affections.
Wow. Reality TV. That's
yeah.
best.
So I mean, you gotta be naked. I mean, season 1, which was 8 episodes, was shot in the Pacific Ocean on the Mogul Mogul Island, which is the Pearl Islands in Panama. And apparently, because of its depiction of nudity, the show was very controversial. But in Europe, people like being naked.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be naked.
I'm sure they got leishmaniasis from the sandflies.
Could you imagine? I would not, man. I would not. Especially after yesterday when we went to the Mbeda community. Like, I can't imagine. And they kept it clean. They kept it very clean. But I was like, man, if I had to live in the jungle naked, no way. No way.
It's tough. I mean, when I ran for the French Survivor, I ran a machete crew, and we went out on one of the tasks I did was in that particular event. I took a machete crew to one of the islands to clear area so that they could set up their production tents. And we're getting munched. So we set up a big fire, but a green fire to make a lot of smoke. And you go bathe smoke. You go and you whiff the smoke on you, and you bathe in the smoke so that you stink to high heavens of green smoke.
Right.
That stench on you, you can finish your work. So we're out there clearing, and then the producers and the cameramen show up, and they raised holy hell with us. They were like, "You put that fire out now, you're gonna ruin the lenses on the equipment, this and that."
What?
And I was like, "Guys, you need to listen to me. This fire is for the bugs, it's for the insects." And they're like, "Put it out." So we threw salt water on it, which is very stinky. But anyway, we put that fire out, and I don't know. Everyone gets set up. Their filming equipment gets set up. Lo and behold, these guys got eaten alive. I watched it. It's like, have you heard the stories where they take a cow across the river in the Amazon and the piranhas eat it?
Yeah.
It was like that, but with insects just munching these French dudes. Dude, they got completely devoured, and their legs. They got the so-called gringo foot, where you have all the sores from the knee down, all over the ankle.
Oh, nasty.
Got devoured. And they're like, how come you guys aren't getting bitten? I was like, that's what the fire was for, Einstein.
Nasty, man. That's nasty.
Yeah.
But people, but they don't know. But they were just like, "Oh man, you're ruining everything. You guys suck. You guys are the worst."
The smoke is going to do this, and we're like, we have it there because of the insects. It's controlling the insects. They're like, put it out now, and we put it out. Boom, they got eaten.
Dude, that's crazy, man. But hey, listen, Viveros looks like it's a very beautiful location. That hotel.
Yeah, it's wonderful. What they've done with that island is the golf course is beautiful. The subdivisions that they've done for the housing, very beautiful, and then they have the marina that they were building. Mind you, I haven't been out there in 10, 15 years, but what they were able to do out there in the middle of nowhere was very impressive.
Do the people that work in the hotel live there as well?
Well, I think they built an airstrip there, and then they had ferries out of there, and then Isla del Rey has a huge airport there. So they'd either fly or take boats back and forth. Not daily. They'd have shifts.
Right. So you'd be like, okay, I can live on the mainland, and then I can go and travel over for work later on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't imagine though, because like you say, I guess after a while it would just be kind of like, there's nothing to do here.
There's nothing to do out there.
What am I
We
gonna
were talking about fishing before. Let's go back to Saboga.
do?
Go north. On the eastern coast, or sorry, the western coast of Saboga, the seaward side, great fishing over there. There's a big cold water, I don't know, like a current comes through there. I don't know how deep it is, but I always remember it being very cold. We would get in pangas and go over there and fish with the locals. And just off of Bartolome, we'd go fishing there and catch a lot of red snapper. That was great.
Dude, how'd you have access to so many pangas?
We had a whole fleet of them, working for the production.
Snap, no doubt, man. That's crazy, man. We need to get some pangas.
Yeah. Checks in the mail, Andy.
Or at least a panga. If you can get us a panga, we'd appreciate it.
He's got a nice boat that he can set us up with.
Man, because there's so many different locations that we got to visit, man. Because they all look beautiful and they all look amazing. And I've known, and it really annoys me because I know a lot of people that have come to Panama and they'd be like, man, we went to Saboga. It was beautiful. Have you been? And I'm just like, no.
It is. It's Saboga is beautiful. The town site there is very interesting, and being so far out in the middle of nowhere and seeing like that old church is pretty cool. And then going across, I know on that western side they have a resort there now. Honestly, don't know how they're doing, but it's a beautiful area. I remember we were filming on Chapera one night, and we were my crew was the last one to leave. And we'd shut down these big generators with big lights on them. And so we're driving back from Chapera back to Contadora.
Right.
And the churn of the engines was illuminating the water, the bioluminescent organisms.
Right.
And it was so dark out there. There's no light pollution. Put your hand in the water and you see these glowing green organisms coming up. So it was just amazing to be out there.
That reminds me of, I remember when I went, and we'll talk about this next week, I guess, when we do the Caribbean side. Well, no, first and foremost, when we go through the Panama Canal, it's going to be epic because we're going to go up the locks. We're going to go down the locks. We're going to go around the locks, and then we're going to come out on the side of the locks. And then we're going to go into the Caribbean. I remember there was this time when I was in San Blas, and I remember in the evening, I was in an island which was pretty far away. And I'll probably repeat the story next week. We were pretty far away from civilization. It was beautiful, right? And I remember in the evening, the water was filled with bioluminescent fish, and you could see it in the water, and you were just like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" Yeah,
I remember it being a lot more prevalent here in Santa Clara. We used to be able to go on a new moon and be able to rub your feet in the sand and have it appear, but I'm afraid those days are gone. So you got to go out in the middle of nowhere now to get that bioluminescent, I guess it's algae or something.
Algae, yeah. But it's crazy, man. It's just being able to go into the water and it's those things where you kind of think like, to what point are we willing to go when all of this is just a memory?
Yeah.
You know?
I think we're already there because, we're already at the point where, even when we had Mike Bolton on the show, where he was talking to us about the different, because he's a shark photographer. So in his lifetime, he's seen a drastic reduction in sea life, which we absolutely have to do something. I don't think it's a priority for the government of Panama.
But I wonder, HB, why do people think, why is there such a great. Well, I guess we want to go to Mars. We want to go to all these planets because I guess ultimately people understand that we're going to mess up our planet so much that there's not going to be any other choice but for us to move our entire well, not our entire planet, but select few individuals who can pay to these different planets so that they can survive, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just taking care of our planet and learning and discovering all the other wonderful things that there are around us. Why can't we do that, dog?
That's I think us humans we're too short-sighted. We can't see past the end of our nose. So it's it's I
It's
don't have the
crazy.
answer for that.
It's like yesterday when we went to visit the Embera, I was like, granted, it had been a year since I left Panama City, so even going to Colon, which is an hour away, was like, holy crap, we're out of the city. But I was so amazed to see how beautiful it was, right? And just how different it was to the reality that I know. Yet, I guess I can. Would you be more awesome if you were like, HB, what you do for your vacation? I went to the Embera village. Or if you were like, HB, what you do for your vacation? I went to Paris, dog.
I think we're upside down, and one of my hopes from all of this pandemic is that we would understand after being closed up inside that CO2 consumption or creating CO2 and greenhouse gases has gone down since we've had to adjust to the pandemic, but I don't think that's the case. I don't want to be very pessimistic, but we've got a lot of work to do, and I'm not a big climate change guy. I'm not a big this and that, but it's obvious. Would you rather live somewhere where there's a lot of garbage and waste, or would you rather live somewhere where there's lots of animals and greenery? It's very obvious that we're dumping too much crap and polluting the earth, and that something needs to be done. There's no need to polarize the argument. It just we have to put our best efforts forward to make a change because we're definitely polluting this earth.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. And it's really sad, especially when you know that there's so many beautiful locations that are kind of just
I've got
disappearing.
one more. We can't leave out of the Pacific tour
What's
before
that? What's
next
that?
week we go to the Atlantic. We have to talk about the Tropic Star Lodge in Piñas Bay, and that's close to. It's way down. I mean, let's get the map back up.
Let's get the map back up.
All the way to the right. All the way to the right, right before the border of Panama and Colombia.
Right.
You got Piñas Bay, and that is world renowned for marlin fishing. I've never been there, but my dad went there. He caught a huge
we're on the
marlin.
Pacific side of Darien.
Yeah.
Well, because the other side would be Gunayala, right? Technically, I guess.
Exactly. Look for Jaque, I think shows up on the map. Hake or
Hake. Nice. I've never been there. I've heard about it. I've heard it's amazing, dude. The fishing and stuff that you can do over there is fantastic.
Yeah. So I think that's the last island we'll be able to talk about. Well, actually, I guess it's not really an island, but ocean-wise, it's very important to mention that geographically. You're going to want to check that out if you're interested in the deep sea fishing.
HB, so I think we can say it so effectively this year right now. We're leaving our catamaran. We've gone past the Bridge of the Americas. We went down the causeway.
Mm-hmm.
The Bridge of the Americas is above us. We're waiting to go into the locks at Miraflores.
Right. We've gone back. We've gone back to the city. We're salty and crusty. Maybe we'll jump on the mainland and get a shower, get a cold beer.
Yes.
Beans and rice. We got to fill the belly. We've been eating so much seafood. We're so lucky.
Much seafood. I know, man. It's delicious. That giant lobster. Oh, amazing.
I got to change the view. It
was epic.
You know how big it was, Joe? It was this big.
Man, that's a giant lobster.
Scallops,
lobster,
oysters,
octopus. So it makes me sad whenever we eat octopus, HB, because even though they're so delicious, they're also so smart.
Yeah, it hurts. But it's 4:55. We're gonna wrap up this show. We want to thank everyone who tuned in. The islands of Panama We have friends that are environmentalists, and I'm sure everyone who's lived here in Panama has noticed that as soon as rainy season starts, you get all the garbage on the beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true that, man. And you gotta like stop with the garbage on the beaches, but I don't know, man. I think it all boils down to education, man, and just what you teach people. And I think sometimes we don't reach the correct people that we need to educate.
Right.
Because the powers that be like to keep it that way.
I'm afraid you're right. There's not a lot of interest in educating people on conservation and what could potentially be a very great show of income, a great source of income, which is the biodiversity of Panama.
If you think about it, Costa Rica is booming with their, environmental efforts, protecting their wildlife, the flora, their fauna. And people, and they just seem to do everything so much better than we do when it comes to that.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, Panama, if there's 4 million people living in Panama, it should be the richest country in all the Americas per capita, because there's only 4 million people. You have the income from the canal, you have the income from the airport, which is a hub of the Americas. You have a gold and copper mine out in Panama. The biodiversity of this country is unmatched by any other country in the world. So Panama, in all its elements, is the richest country in the world, and it needs protection and education.
That's fact, man. Truer words have never been spoken, my friend.
Can you drop some words of wisdom and well-being on us before we end the show, Joe?
It's gonna be hard, man, because I've been having a hard week, but I'm gonna try, dude. I'm gonna do my best. Yeah. Guys, listen. Even though times may be hard, we got to keep pushing forward, man, because you know what? The light is just there at the end of the tunnel. If we can stay strong, stay to what we're doing, stick to our wits, we can get there, and we can be outside again. We can be visiting all these amazing locations that HB and I spoke about today. And I know, man, everything's opening up, and you just want to run outside and hug your friends and lick lampposts like you used to back in the day.
Guilty.
Can't do that anymore, at least not yet. But before you know it, it's a couple more months. Hang in there. Stay safe. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask.
Put alcohol on your hands, and we'll be out hugging
Stay
and
in your
coughing.
bubble.
That's right.
Thank you, Joe. I love your words of wisdom. It's a great way to cap off the show. Because of all the great fun that we had today, Sue Norman's tuned in. It's good to see you. One of our favorite episodes.
We got our merch up. We got to make sure that we send Sue Norman. When we get our merch up, we got to send Sue Norman. She can become an honorary RapScallion.
She's going to get a T-shirt. Once we get the T-shirts printed, she's getting one. One of our favorite episodes, her son Danny Norman was on the show telling us all about the expansion of Panama. Scroll down, you'll find that episode. Because we ran long, we only got one ocean in today. So next week, every Sunday at 3 p.m., you tune in. Joe and I will be here. Maybe we'll have 2 monkey butlers to make it more interesting. But we're going to go through the canal, and then we're going to end up on the Atlantic and Caribbean coast and cover all the islands that we didn't get to. There's over 1,000 islands in Panama. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ralph Furlong says, "I want a shirt." Hey, we're gonna set up some prizes. All kinds of interesting things are in the works to keep the FamScallion happy. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Allison, awesome show. Hey, we've got your hats. She won 2 hats on the Captain Andy show. So we're holding those. Next time you come to Panama, we're drinking some beers, and we're going to hand those hats over personally.
And we're going to take some pics for the gram.
That's right. Our RapScallion Instagram is going to have lots of happy people on it wearing their RapScallion merchandise. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's 4:59 every Sunday, 3 p.m. Please share and follow if you like the show. And Joe and I, we're just creators. We're trying to have fun and share some history of Panama. And the song that you're going to hear on the outro is one that we made ourselves. So thanks for tuning in. Tune in next Sunday, 3 p.m. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
J-O-E in the place to be. HB on the track, it's like ecstasy. Rolling a well of 7 years, what we drink and be. Trying to sling the dopest rhymes in the galaxy. Let me take a minute though and relax your mind. Sometimes these words can be hard to find. 24/7 on that daily grind. Hearing voices in my head, man, they not that kind. Cause bitches be bitching, snitches keep snitching. The world keeps turning, and I keep hitching a ride instead of living my life. Yo, 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 yo.
Man, when you feel hungry, don't you have to eat?
Yo, yo, pump up the volume and digest this beat.
RapScallions in the house with this lyrical treat.
When we're done with you, you're gonna ice your feet.
If the world ends tomorrow and you had one chance,
Hey yo, would you start the move like it's your last dance?
yo, do something small in the past and present changes.
Do something now, the future rearranges.
Cause bitches keep bitching.
Yo, snitches keep snitching.
The world keeps turning.
And you start living your life instead of hitching a ride. RapScallions.